Hey there everyone, this is Shiny Go. Welcome back to more Pokémon X. In the last episode we got rid of Team Flare and we caught the mascot for this particular game. I'm in Anistar City's Pokémon Center, as I mentioned. Also, you'll see I actually finally managed to update the current roster on my team, and there's a gap missing. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm bringing Bibel as my HM slave. Basically, he's going to be pretty much my HM slave for the rest of the game now. I've said Zigzagoon is probably the best HM slave. Early game, mainly because it knows pickup and it can give you decent items, but I don't think that's really going to be of any use anymore, since I'm getting so much money from the luck incense that I don't know what to do with. So Bibel is letting on my HMs. It currently has pretty much Strength Cut, Rock Smash, Surf. Eventually I'm going to get rid of Cut and I'm going to replace it with Waterfall, because then I've got pretty much one Pokemon that can get me through Victory Road without me needing to reorganise my team like in a big huge mess. So that's what's happening there. Also with my team, see, there's no Sylveon. Basically for the next couple of routes is I kind of want to train these guys up. Everybody else that's not on the team is like around level 60, and I kind of want to level these up to like about the same. Especially Kane, who's going to be useful for the next gym, and I'll probably Gearburn, because Gearburn pretty much resists pretty much anything that can probably be thrown at the gym, unless they have like Ghost and Dive moves, and then that might be questionable, because I've not really scouted the 8th gym yet and I can't remember how it goes, so there's that. But anyway, that's pretty much the reason why there's a gap in the team. I'm using Bibel now. I had to actually base it up from the Bidoof that I caught earlier. Also, while I'm here, I want to talk about this girl here. I don't actually have all the TMs that she gives you, but I mentioned before, she actually gives you TMs based on the time of day. This current point in time of day, because it's like about 11 AM when I'm recording this, if you talk to her, she actually gives you the Flamethrower TM, which I actually already have, which is going to be useful because I need it later. Later on, well, if you talk to her, well, basically how it works, I'll tell you now. If you talk to her between 11 AM and 6 PM, she gives you the TM for Flamethrower, as I mentioned. If you talk to her between 6 PM and 8 PM, more or less, she gives you the TM for Psych Up, which is actually the only TM I don't have yet from her. If you talk to her between 8 PM and 4 AM, she gives you the TM for Substitute, and from 4 AM to 11 AM she gives you the TM for Double Team. So that's how that works. Also, another point of interest is that this guy here, he sells the really strong element moves like Blizzard, Thunder, Fire Blast, but they all have accuracy issues, so I'm not going to use them, but they're used everywhere in competitive, so this is where they are in case you need them. There's also Hyper Beam here, which has charge time as well, so other than that, nothing's very useful. I also realised that I started the volume on my 3DS, so you've probably just been hearing like double the audio throughout like the past 4 minutes whilst I've been talking. So oops to that. But anyway, let's get on with progress here. And basically, I think this is just a hollow clip saying, "Oh yeah, I need to speak to you. Can you come to the next town?" Which is where we were going in the first place. I don't know why you'd have to tell us to go this way, but yeah, now we can access the new route. Basically, if you came here before, these guys would block you out saying, "Oh, the Durant have wrecked the route again," so you can't actually go through it. And I'll be honest, there's nothing particularly interesting about this route. There are interesting things you can actually pick up. It's just that you actually need HMs for, which currently Bibel has. And I'm not particularly too caring about the encounters here. There is a version exclusive encounter here. I believe in X version, which I'm playing, you get Lara, but if you play in Y version, you get Pupitar instead. Also, I have Kane in front. Same. He has the looking sense because not really got anything better to do with him, and a lot of things here are going to be susceptible to flamethrower. So yeah, everybody's getting wrecked. And well, it kind of helps that he's going to be out first. He's going to get lots of levels, which he kind of needs. So does Jess. Let's be honest, Jess needs it as well. But no one else, especially not a Barrel. So yeah, the battles around here are going to be pretty easy, since a lot of the Pokemon here can be susceptible to fire. There's a couple that aren't. Basically just find Tacos and Hitomi here, and they're resistant, if not outright have like moves like Flash Fire, which can really ruin your day. That's a high potion though, that's pretty great. There is another berry tree around here, but I think you need cut for, so there's that. You can also find hard battles here, and I wonder whether the game one here? No, we're not. And I expect to find, unless you like just outright spam repels, expect to encounter a lot of Durants. You can actually find them in hards, and there's a 5% chance that the hard will have a Hitomi. And just like the what was it, the Survivor and Zangoose hards that you can find, they will actually fight each other before actually fighting you, so there's that. Also unexpected Pokemon in bush area. Except it's a Durant, and I probably should have actually expected it. Durant, by the way, is Bug and Steel, so yeah, Flamethrower just absolutely murders them. There's a cut bush here. Let's see what is around here. Probably. Oh right, this is a. That's probably another Durant, isn't it? Yeah. I don't particularly like being ambushed by Durants. Then again, I don't particularly like being ambushed by trainers either, but that's different. But I believe the berry tree here is a, I think it's a Wackenberry. Not that it's that useful because the only berries I really particularly use are the ones that cure status ailments. Which kind of reminds me, I haven't actually done the berry gardening stuff for like a long time. And I actually have one Lumberry, and those things are absolutely very useful. Because they're essentially full heals, and I can grow a load of them. I don't really need to buy full heals like the rest of the game. So that's probably going to be something I do buy off screen. Oh goodness, this thing knows Earthquake. That actually stung a little. I might actually have to heal, so I'm actually going to have to heal. Where are those rumors? Actually, I have lots of hyper potions. I found one earlier, so choose one of those. Is that a hiker that fights me? I don't know. And well, I was going to say I don't have anything that can take it on, but I do. I have Suka here. I don't know. Personally, I think descending things is a lot easier than. Alright, you kind of sort of. I was going to say you kind of sort of tricked me here, but electric doesn't resist water, so Surf will definitely kill you from here. Good job there, Asuka. And you're finally at level 6, that's neat. And you want to learn Hydro Pump. I'd give it to you, but personally I prefer accuracy over power, so no. It'd be useful if you wanted to recover from a nasty pitfall, because that's what you use in Smash Brothers. But other than that, no. Pokemon games, things with accuracy issues, I generally just don't like. I prefer accuracy over power. Some might say that is not the best player in the world, but I think they're something. I don't know. I wouldn't say idiots because no, even not even a broken clock is like right twice a day, but yeah, sometimes having more power than accuracy actually works. You probably just have to be lucky or something, but I've had issues with those type of moves, so yeah, once bitten, twice shy, all that. With a fighter girl here, I'm going to put Jess up front because, well, who else is going to take out fighting types? Well, Kelly probably, but Kelly's already like stronger than Jess, and I kind of like want to ensure that Jess actually gets some experience. But this Mineshadow, that should probably die pretty quickly. I still don't get it. Every time I fought Mineshadows in like the previous generation when it was introduced, every single one of them first turn would fake out, and then in this one, it just doesn't work. They just don't do it. It's like, no, we're not going to use fake out. And it's like, what the hell? It's a free hit on something that's going to pretty much straight up murder you. I think that's pretty much all the trainers here. Actually, no, there's a couple more. I think there's one more behind the Rock Smash wall, and there's another down near the city. So, well, the next time. Oh, here's Lara. As I said, this guy is X exclusive. You can find Pupitas here instead in Pokemon Y. He's also being annoying, spamming attacks. That's not cool, guy. And he thinks he's funny by raising his speed. So I'll just drop a paralysis on him. Yes, they usually move they're called Autonomize, which is steel. It's a weird steel type move. That what are my Ultra Balls are here? Basically what they do is quite simple. Basic speed, it makes it lighter, because there are some moves and abilities that work depending on how heavy or light the Pokemon is. I can't remember some of them. I think there's one called Heavy Slam, which I think Embo does, or is it Heat Crash? It's one of the two. But yeah. Stuff. Wait. Things. It's Evolution, Aggro, and can Mega Evolve, but you can only find its Mega. I believe you can only find its Mega Stone in the post game, and I think it's white exclusive for some reason as well. Meaning you had to trade something for it. This house here, this house belongs to a guy called Inva, and in it you can have a Pokemon fight, but all the weaknesses and resistances are switched around. I might show that later, but I don't really want to do it just now because I kind of just want to go through this route this next time. And actually I do want to explore this cave here simply because there's stuff in there that I absolutely want. There's stuff in there that I absolutely need, and the final member of the team can potentially be caught up there. It's probably the earliest we can actually catch it, so kind of want that as well. That guy's a trainer, and I don't know how you get to fighting him. I think you have to go through the cave in order to fight him. But I think this is the last trainer on the route which we can currently access at the moment. I'm kind of glad we have. I'm kind of glad I have Jess up here for this guy because everybody else is going to get murdered by him. I have actually already noticed that a lot of my pokes do have a strong weakness to fighting types. Except for maybe Gearbird, who really should have, but because of his ghost type it does not. Let's put Kane back up front because I don't know what you use. I can't remember what you use specifically. You've been stood there for like the past, I don't know, probably like the past 15 minutes. How are you late if you're just going to be stood there? Oh. You're using fairy types. Well, at least I got rid of the Intimidate from you. Well, there's only one thing for it. I'm just going to have to bring Gearbird out. This is pretty much... Gearbird is pretty much the only thing that can... oh no. Don't do that, that is just me. Well, you know what, I'm just going to superpower you then. Just going to buff my defense. What about attack rolls from Playrough? Does Playrough lower attack or something? Well, +3 will definitely kill it. Well, +2 definitely will kill you. After, even with a crit. Never actually used Playrough simply because I've never used a physical fairy type before. Or at all for that matter. Basically, I'll be honest, the only fairy type I've actually used has been Sylveon, so there's that. And I'm going to keep Kelly out here simply because pretty much +3 anything should kill this DDD here. Yeah, but I'm finally at level 60, and well, you're done. Good. And apparently snapped out of confusion as well. This is what happens when you train nothing but fairy types. You turn to like some sort of cloud cuckoo-lander. Probably the only reason why I only have like one fairy type. By the way, here's Coroway Town. There is actually stuff here that I particularly want. Pokemon Center being one of them. There's a couple of TMs. There's actually a fight we're going to have here as well. And I do have a team set up for it. Basically, the professor's actually going to challenge us to a fight again. And it's going to be using the same Pokemon it had before, except the fully evolved now. So actually, I could probably take them as is, can I? With the team I've got. Not really, because I don't have anything that could take on the Blastoise direct kill it. To be fair, I could probably set up the gear burn on the Blastoise, so there's that. Like I said, basically it's just going to be the Professor again, and like I said before, I remember the previous battle he started with Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur sort of thing. He's going to do that again, but they're all fully evolved. It probably will. Well, yeah, let's be honest. Syndra did have a point. He didn't really have to go to great lengths to try and achieve his point. But he's dead now anyway, or at least we think he's dead. He's definitely under like 30 feet of level at least. But yeah, Pokemon battle with the Professor once again. His first Pokemon is the Venusaur. The Venusaur will get incinerated by Kane because that's essentially, I was thinking of starting this one, just having 3 Pokemon myself. Kane, Asuka, and Ampharos. Was the plan here. And since Kane has the lock-in stance, is fine with me. But I am going to switch out for Gear Burn. I don't think the Blastoise could have anything that can outright deal with what I've got. No, it doesn't. Basically, the Venusaur has Petal Dance, Worry Seed, Synthesis, and Petal Blizzard. The Blastoise has Water Pulse, Aqua Tail, Iron Defense, and Skull Bash. Iron Defense might do undesirable things simply because all I'm going to be doing is just use spam Solar Sense into them at +6 and then try and ruin his die. Like that. And for the Charizard, well, for the Charizard I have Asuka, who's definitely going to be faster than the Charizard. Can't really do anything. It's got Flame Burst, Wing Attack, Slash, and Flamethrower. And Surf should probably one-shot it. I agree, so could probably Water Shuriken should I get the full 5 hits on it. But yeah, there's that. And Asuka's now at 61, that's great. And there we go, that's Professor Sycamore defeated. And that's just why we are strong. Mainly because I have a lot of type matchups for the most part. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what it means by this treasure mine is hidden in this town. At first I thought it was going to be the HM for Waterfall, but we're actually going to get that from somebody else later. And I've like Bulbapedia up with all the items in, and I have no clue as to what they are, what it is. But yeah, the professor has things to do, people to science. And I also have things to do and TMs to pick up, like the one from this woman here. She's nice enough to give us the TM for U-turn. Basically, you use it in battle and you can switch out with well, whatever Pokemon you have to want. Actually, an item, is it here? There it is. Not a very useful item, but it's there nonetheless. Actually, another one here, I believe. Right, that one's actually probably a little bit more useful. Actually, there's actually two more things that I kind of want from around here. Oh wait, those down. Although that is a nice one, it's a burn heal. Not that I'm generally going to be using it, but on the subject of burns, we're actually going to get a TM that's going to cause burns. But in this house here, I think, is it you? No. But I think you get something from her if you... Yeah, you get a revive if you bring her something that has Nuzzle. I think I have something with Nuzzle, I'm not too sure. I will have to go and check. I know Pikachu learns Nuzzle, but I can't remember when it does. I don't really want to train a Pikachu at the moment, so... There's that. I think it's you. Right, then this girl gives you a different item depending on your start. It's actually the item that boosts its initial type. In this case, it's Froakie for the Mystic Wall. Is Froakie's height 104? I think that's yes. No. Right. Basically, she asks you two yes/no questions. I think for Froakie it's no and then yes. But yeah, she gives you a Mystic Water. If you chose Fennelkin, she'll give you a Charcoal, and if you choose the Grass style, she'll give you a Miracle Seed. If you win her little quiz there. There's another quiz at the hotel, which I think is up here. Let's see if you talk to this little person here. It disguises itself as kelp. Even though I don't actually have a scalp in the Pokédex, simply because I've not found one yet. But yeah, that's the answer to that. But you get the TM for Scald, which is actually a very useful move. I think it's slightly less powerful than Surf, but it has a high chance of causing a burn. No, that's not. This guy sells water, but it's not worth it. Simply because if you really want fresh water, you can just go back to the power plant and get the fresh water there for $100 with 100 Pokédollars and just spam that until you have enough fresh water that you don't know what to do with. But yeah, that's really all the interesting stuff that I can figure out from this. This time, so I'm actually going to cut the video here simply because I'm almost at 30 minutes as it is. In the next video I am going to go back up here. I want to go into the cave that's up here. I want to try and find the Pokemon that I actually want for the team, and there's actually stuff in there that I kind of want. Like there's a couple of TMs there, and there's actually a thing that's finally going to turn Gearbound into its true form. So I'm going to do that next episode. I'm probably going to do it post-commentary or fast-forwarded or both. Simply because I'm going to get lost and I'm just going to be flailing around trying to find things. So, yeah, look out for that. That's good. That's going to be fun times. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. Take care, and I will see you guys later. Ciao!